Today is going to be a very interesting day in the markets. Yesterday turned out to be a bit of a dud. Not really surprising. We talked about the rejection at our moving averages. We talked about some potential profit taking in red we could see in the market. And then we came down and tested the exact ranges we were discussing. And now we're seeing a bounce here in the early part of the day. But that's not even the big story. The big story is what is taking place this afternoon, because it has been advanced. The date and time have been set. And now we're going to probably see quite a bit of volatility in the market. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So yes, ADA did get that rejection off of the 20-day like we talked about earlier on in the day. And as the day progressed, we did fall a little bit more red. Well, we came down, we tested our trend here like we had discussed. It's nothing really surprising. I find it kind of interesting. There are bears were rejoicing yesterday, and they like to comment anytime price is dropping. And it's like, hey, we discussed this exact move, and now we bounced off our trend. Actually, in the overnight candles, this was a very promising sign. We saw actually the Asian markets moving to the upside. Got an initial dump, European markets opening, but we've had some very solid candles here. A bounce back of 1.44% in one hourly candle, 0.42% in another, 0.86% in another. This has been looking very good overnight, and now we just need the U.S. markets to wake up and do the same. And that sometimes can be a very big ask. Maybe we'll get what we saw on Saturday into Sunday, but you know, that's just me being hopeful at this point, because you never really know, right? Now, that being said, BTC did the same thing. Breakdown, retest, and a nice bounce here. Actually up 1.76% for the day. And you guys can see that most assets in the space are seeing some decent green right now. We have gotten to this point where we talked about the institutional pause yesterday. Guess what? They flipped and started buying. That's what we had discussed. That's what we thought was probably going to happen. It was a pretty sizable day. $523 million worth of BTC accumulated. They did do some selling on the Ethereum side, $107 million in outflows. So that was kind of strange. Grayscale really led the way on this, $75 million in outflows themselves. But maybe this is something that changes because obviously Ethereum had an ugly day yesterday. Bounced back basically right to where it was at. So it's trying to break to the upside here. And maybe once ETH starts breaking past this local range here, which is its 618 level and its 200-day moving average, and actually we have the 20-day coming down here too, that could open up the door actually for altcoins to start making some more significant moves. We did get some leverage liquidations over the last 24 hours. Nothing really big, but what we're actually getting right now is a bit of a cushion, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. But you guys can see normally when price is sideways and not really doing much and just kind of ranging between a few cents here, we tend to see leverage fill in very, very thick on both sides. And it tends to cause kind of a wild, volatile event. And leverage isn't really doing that right now. We're actually seeing the thicker concentrations of leverage down at about 52 cents in terms of ADA and up at about 61 cents this begins to the upside. And the reason why we're getting a little bit of cushion is because people don't know what to expect today, because it has now officially been advanced. The House voted to advance the bill to reopen the government, meaning that today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there is going to be a vote on reopening the government. So this is going to be our big event for the day. This is what we've been waiting for all week after the announcement on the weekend. And so this could be a day of a wild volatility in the market. And it's a question of, getting back to the charts here. Do you have enough confidence to get all this capital that right now is showing it wants to re-enter the market to actually give it that push back into the market? And then it's a question of, obviously, what does that do for altcoins? Does that in fact cause us to basically blow past these moving averages? It's possible. Not saying it's going to happen for sure, but that's what we're fighting right now. If ADA can blow past this 20-day, like we talked about, we might be on the verge of 64, 65 cents. And this doesn't have to happen all at once. Basically, you just need to get out of this area of uncertainty. It provides a lot more clarity for our path forward here. It opens up the door for, obviously, spot ETF approvals. It opens up the door for more of this macro data to come out. So for the Fed and us to be more confident in getting interest rate decreases. Obviously, we know QE is basically it's stealth beginning, but it's going to officially begin on December 1st. So that's basically QT ending, but they're already expanding their balance sheet. So it's basically QE is started, if that makes sense. I don't mean to ramble on, but you guys get the point. We're headed towards some pretty exciting things. It all starts with this event that's taking place today, which again, hopefully goes in our favor, but that is what we need to be prepared for. Could see some moves up, could see some moves down. I'm thinking that it's going to be a higher volume day. Right now, 160 billion over the last 24 hours. Would not be surprised by somewhere north of 230 billion by the time it's all said and done. But I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below. Make sure you pay attention to that. I'll try to keep everybody updated, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.